President of this meeting, Comrade Savai Muthu, and my dear comrades. At the outset, I congratulate all the employees and officers who have assembled in large gathering for this demonstration which is being held throughout the country in all the centers. First, I congratulate. The purpose of this meeting is to protest against the indifference of the government. Number one, protest against the indifference of the government towards the public sector general insurance employees and officers. Number two, to condemn the insensitiveness of the top management. These are the two purposes of this meeting. While we want to educate the employees and officers of what is happening in the industry, we also want to make it a mention about these two things. You know that wage revision is due from 1st of August 2022. And in the analogous institutions, 25 months have already passed. Analogous institutions like bank and LIC, the wage revision is already settled. Yes, banks went for more than 10 days strike and they could achieve a spectacular wage revision which they are happy with the settlement also. We do not have any grievance if the bank employees are happy with their settlement. Why should we have a grievance with the bank employees? The Life Insurance Corporation of India also has gone for a settlement with the employees, and it was a spectacular settlement, and the people are appreciating, employees are appreciating the settlement. So we don't have any grievance on these two settlements. When the analogous institutions settlements have already been over, why it is pending in general insurance for the last 25 minutes? This is a pertinent question that we posed before the finance minister today. So when I say right from 1983, if you see the history of the general insurance industry, 1978 a settlement was done that was for rationalization of pay scales, because a lot of private insurance companies came into being into 4 public sector general insurance companies. So the pay scales were rationalized in 1978. In 1983, the first settlement was made in the year 1987. A settlement was done after 2 years, 3 years only. Right from 1983, no settlement was done on time for general insurance employees. It is because of our struggle, because of our strike, because of our continuous agitation, we could get wage revision in the general insurance industry. Not only in general insurance industry, in any public sector, in any class divided society, there will be a contradiction between the labor and the capital. There will be a contradiction between the wage and profit. And there it also, in general insurance industry also, we saw the contradiction since 1978, and it is continuing today also. So when I say we are protesting against the indifference of the government, we are protesting against the indifference of the government because 25 months have already passed. When a question was put forth before the parliament, a starred question was put forth in the parliament asking about the status of the wage revision in the general insurance industry. It was raised by Comrade Su Venkatesan from Madurai. He has put a question before the parliament. The government has the audacity to tell lies. The government has the audacity to tell lies and said the matter has not been brought to their notice, and if it is brought to their notice, they will consider it. So they said in the parliament, on the floor of the parliament, they said the matter has not been referred to it. It is a white lie, because when Pankaj Chaudhary, the Ministry of State for Finance, gave a reply on 27th July 2024, before 27th July 2024, there was a meeting between CLC and the unions and also the management, and also the DFS officials were present in that meeting on 27th of June 2024, wherein the DFS officials in the status of a director who participated in the meeting said, yes, we got the proposal from the 4 public sector general insurance company, we are actively considering the proposals. This was the statement made by the DFS officials before the CLC. But when a question was put forth in the parliament, on the floor of the parliament, the government said, we have not received any proposal. If this is not lie, what else can be? If this is not white lie, what else can be? If this is the character of the government, we have to oppose the character of the government. We have to protest against the government. The government said, what is the problem for the public sector general insurance company? The government cannot say the performance of the public sector general insurance company is not up to the mark. Comrade Kumaravel explained in detail about the profit and loss of the PSGI companies. We have made a spectacular turnaround in the last financial year of 2023 and 24. No government agencies can deny the performance of the PSGI companies. It was a loss of 10,408 crores. The combined loss of the 4 public sector general insurance company in the financial year of 2022-23 was 10,408 crores. 10,408 crores. Whereas in the last financial year of 2023-24, the loss has come down to just 648 crores. From 10,408 crores, if we have brought down the loss to 648 crores, if Oriental can make a profit of 37 crores when compared to the last year loss of 4,900 crores, if National can reduce the loss from 3,800 crores to 198 crores, if Front India can reduce the loss from 2,800 crores to 800 crores, what else can be a spectacular performance of the PSJ companies that we want to question the finance minister and this government and the DFS? We have shown a growth of 9%. 9% of GDP growth. The growth of 9% is the gross domestic product growth in the financial year of 2023-24. We are minister. What is the growth of the Indian economy in the year 2023-24? The finance minister has to reply to the question of the public sector general insurance employees and officers. You have to compare with the global growth of the general insurance industry today. The global average growth of the general insurance industry is less than 1%. When it is less than 1%, if public sector general insurance company can achieve 9%, is it a mean achievement? Is it not a bigger achievement for the public sector, for the DFS and the finance ministry? That is what we are asking the finance ministry. When in your own ministry, if you take the GDP, if you see the manufacturing sector, it has come down from 15%. The manufacturing sector was contributing 15% to the GDP in the year 2014. In 2014, it was contributing 15%. 24, the statistics says the manufacturing sector contribution to the GDP has come down to 13%. If the manufacturing sector is not growing, if you are not creating people of this country, expect the general insurance company to grow beyond 9% or beyond 10%. This is the question that we ask the finance minister. The finance minister has to explain why the general insurance employees are not given the wage revision even after 25 months. We are asking the finance, we are asking the management also. When we say we protest against the government, we also protest against condemn the insensitiveness of the top management. 25 months have passed. You have published the financial results, annual results, 3 months over. In the month of June, you celebrated in all the offices that you have reduced the losses, that you have made profits, you distributed sweets. We are very happy. Who did this? Did the top management alone perform for the turnaround of the companies? Did not the employees and the officers contributed to it? Some of the officers today, general managers have become the ED. So CMDs are not coming under the purview of the general insurance companies today. Are they not bothered about the employees who are working for the PSJ companies? We are condemning the insensitiveness of the top management today. Even after 25 months, they are keeping silent. Even after a spectacular performance, they are not taking it to the DFS and getting the due share for the employees and officers. They are not talking to the government. That is a problem today. They are when Prime Minister Suraksha Bima Yojana, when we are telling that we are incurring loss in PMSBY, they are not taking it to the government. Whereas LIC management has the courage to talk to the government and say, when they introduce a policy, a similar policy, similar to PSBY, they introduce a policy called as Prime Minister Jeevan Jyoti Bima policy. Whereas LIC corporation, LIC management went to the government and said, whatever the shortfall, if the ICR is more than 100%, you have to compensate. The government agreed and they are compensating to the LIC, but the government is not compensating to the public sector general insurance company. Why my management is not taking up with the DFS? Why the management is silent? We are asking the management to take up with the government and get the employees and officers their due share of reservation. I am not going into the other justification due to paucity of time. We are only telling the management, please stand up and raise a question to the DFS. Please do not bend. When during the emergency, one journalist wrote in the newspaper, during emergency, there was a curtailment of all rights. So one journalist wrote in a newspaper, the journalists, the newspapers, the media were asked to bend before the government. When they were asked to bend before the media persons crawled before the government. The journalist was upset by the behavior of the media person. He said, they asked you to bend, but you are crawling before the government. But in 2022-23, because of the Godi media, the same journalist wrote, at that time, the government asked the journalists media persons to bend, they crawled. Today, even before the government asked them to bend, our media people are crawling. Now I am telling the management, please do not bend or crawl before the DFS. Stand straight. We will support you. You have performed well. We have performed well. Get us a better wage revision. We will see that we take the Public Relations Company to greater heights. That is our vision. That is our motto. We request you to join us in the mission and see that the employees and officers get their due share. With this, I come to reference. Thank you, comrades.